Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This vlog is another Vanother Collective collaboration vlog, and as such, as you know, all the logos will be up here somewhere and all the channel links will be in the description below. So don't forget, go to the description, take a look at all the other channels. They'll all have different ideas to what we have, but this month's subject is tips for winter vanning. So winter camping, caravanning, motorhoming, campervanning, whichever one you do, has really grown in popularity. We're going to talk caravan this week because we're actually in the caravan, so we're going to base all ours on winter caravanning. And over the years now, there is more than 2 million caravanners around the UK. And they say around 10 to 20% of these people continue caravanning throughout the winter months. And that is an awful lot of people, 200,000 to 400,000 people that still go out on campsites every year through the winter months, including us. As you know, we always spend Christmas away in the caravan, and this year is going to be no exception. So we're going to go through some of the reasons why people caravan over winter, and we're going to show you some of our tips that we've found helpful when we're caravanning over the winter months. So our first reason people will go caravanning in the winter is because it's much more peaceful and tranquil than it is in the summer. Campsites are not so crowded. You get a better choice of pitch for campsites where you can choose a pitch. You haven't got all the hustle and bustle of people coming and going all the time, and it's just not so busy. So if you enjoy a bit of solitude, then winter is an ideal time to caravan. Reason number 2 is campsites are more affordable in the winter. A lot of campsites offer discounts over the winter, and for example, we are currently at Saltcliffe in Bridlington. We booked this in October. You had to book by the 13th of October, but we got a 40% discount, which is a huge saving. It's almost like for a weekend getting a night free. For this weekend, and it is the 9th of November today when I'm filming this, and it has cost us £41.40 for Friday and Saturday night here, which I think is an absolutely amazing price for a campsite. So a really popular time over winter to go caravanning is over the Christmas and New Year period, and for us this is something we've been doing since 2018, and this year is no exception. We will be away for 11 nights over Christmas and New Year, and this is a great time if you want to test winter caravanning. This is a great time to go because the campsites are just absolutely full, which contradicts what I said earlier about them being quieter. But Christmas and New Year, they're absolutely chock to the campsites. They're absolutely brilliant. I'll remember the first time we went at Christmas. We went to Bridlington Caravan, a motorhome club site. I think we just did about 4 or 5 nights that year. Oh, yeah. But it was fantastic. It was like Blackpool illuminations. Every caravan had all the Christmas lights, just like you would at home. Some even had big Christmas trees up in their awning. So Christmas and New Year is an excellent time for winter caravanning. And now we're going to look at some tips to help you over the winter months if you want to go out in your caravan, motorhome or camper van. Our tips for winter caravanning, we're going to start first with the travelling. A lot of times in the winter, certainly for us, we're travelling on an evening, so the days are much shorter, so it's dark normally when we pick up the caravan from storage. So because it's quite dark on storage, we have a head torch, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to put it on. I look stupid, but I'm going to show you. So put this on your head like so, and it's movable, so you can point it down and you can go up. But these are really good for places where you haven't got much lighting, like on our storage. It's very dark and it keeps your hands free. And I'm just going to turn one of them on it'll probably blind you now, but it has a few different settings and it is so bright. It really helps us when we're hitching up the caravan. So that is a rechargeable. It has a battery box on the back. You just recharge it on a USB and it's brilliant. And that's probably messed all my hair up now, hasn't it? But yeah, that is an absolute godsend. It's also great for walking Abby on a night, especially if you're going up dark lanes, because you can put this on your head. You still got your hands free, useful for holding the lead, and it lights up extremely well outside. It's millions of lumens. I just can't remember how many it's got, but it's a lot. Also, when you're travelling, check all your lights before you set off. You need to know everything's working. Abby, what are you doing? You want to be in the vlog? You want to be in the vlog with Mama? Yeah. So yeah, check all your lights, particularly your marker lights, because it is a legal requirement on anything that's over 6 metres. We had this issue with our motorhome when we had the motorhome, that our marker lights failed and we couldn't travel at night till we got it sorted out, because the motorhome was 7 metres, so it was a legal requirement to have the marker lights on. Another thing I'd suggest is carrying a warning triangle, because if you break down and you're a long vehicle, you need to warn people that you're there. Also, a high-vis jacket is also useful to have, even just like a little pull-on vest type one is a good requirement to have, because it makes sure you are visible to passing by cars. So you've landed on site, everything's set up, your caravan or your campervan or motorhome, whichever one you have. You may find that campsite facilities are reduced. Campsites don't have everything running over the winter months. So for example, as you know, I've already said, we're at Southcliffe, and we already know the fish shop here isn't open. Now it's winter months. The shop, we're not sure about at the moment, but we'll check that out later on. But it does close sometimes over the winter. And we know the bar area closes at the end of this month. And I don't think that reopens until March next year. So just be aware that if you find a campsite that is open all winter, some of the facilities will not be available to you. So also bear in mind, obviously, the weather conditions are not so good. But I'm just chuckling away to myself, because as I'm sat filming this, and it's a bit of a grey day, it's a little bit drizzly, and there's a guy just walked past the front of the caravan and he's got his flip-flops and his shorts on. And no matter what time of year it is, you will always see somebody in the shorts, even in the winter, wandering around campsites. But then as long as they're comfy and they're happy with that, that's fine, isn't it? Another thing you'll need to do, particularly if it is going to be bitter cold and you're going to have sub-zero temperatures, is to keep your pipes insulated. Make sure everything's insulated. And you can buy like a jacket, like almost like a coat that you put round your aqua roll, which will keep your water from freezing up. We have been on a rally once on a showground when we had the motorhome, and we couldn't even get any water out of the water taps because the whole thing was frozen up. Fortunately, we did have some water in the van, so it kept us going. But obviously with a caravan, you don't carry water on board. So if you're going to go out in sub-zero temperatures, it's definitely worth investing in a jacket for your aqua roll. Close your blinds when it starts to get dark. That helps keep the heat that's already in here inside the caravan. And then if you've got curtains, close your curtains, because these are really thick and lined curtains in our caravan. You can see like a thermal backing, and just close them, and that stops any draft coming through, which will keep your heat inside the caravan. And also your roof blinds, make sure these are closed, because this also can be quite drafty. So if you close these, that helps keep the heat in as well. We always close the curtains in our caravan in the winter, particularly over the Christmas period when we're away, because that tends to be the coldest part of the year. So another tip, if you want to watch your TV, make sure you've got some batteries for your remote control. We have to laugh really, because this week we've landed on site. We've not been out in the caravan since August, and the batteries we've got, the spare batteries for the remote control, have been in the caravan since we've had it. And what, we had it about 16 months or something. The batteries aren't working. So it's like the old-fashioned days. We've actually got to get up and turn the TV over manually, which you just don't do you, these days? I looked for an app on my phone to do the remote control thing, and they all charge you now they're about £40 a year, and I thought, I'm not paying £40 for an app to turn my telly over. So it's going on manual at the minute. When we go out, we'll see if we can find a shop and get some new batteries. But it was just something that sprung to mind that happened to us this weekend, so I thought I would just mention that as well. Another tip is, make sure you've got your carpets down in your caravan. Over the summer months, we don't tend to have the carpets down. We tend to take them up, put them under the bed out of the way. But in the winter, they will help keep the caravan warm. So now it's getting colder, we've put our carpets back down, and it will keep the floors warmer for walking on. And if you're like me, I hate having cold feet. Get a pair of slippers. I love my slippers, and I have a pair in the caravan, I have a pair in the camper, I have a pair at home. I love my feet to be toasty, because if my feet are toasty, the rest of me is generally warm too. When we choose a site in the winter, we tend to make sure it's hard standing, because the grass gets very wet, especially if it's raining a lot. It can be very boggy, and then you traipse all your mud into the caravan. And another point on this sort of thing as well is, use your awning, because one, you've got somewhere to take your outdoor things off, your shoes, your coats, etc. And secondly, when you open your caravan door, you're not straight outside letting the cold straight in, because the awning, for all it won't be mega warm, will keep some temperature in there. And especially if it's sunny but cold, it will warm the awning up, and you've got somewhere to hang your damp clothes. If you've been out and it's raining and your coat's all wet and your boots or shoes are all wet, you can leave them out in the awning. Just a few quite quick outdoor tips. I bought a new hat. Do you like it? The logo. So advertises as well, we're walking around. So wear a hat when you go out. You lose 90% of your body heat through your head, so it's always worth putting a hat on. Get a big coat, waterproof, long, below your knees to keep your legs warm as well as your body. And get your boots on. Get some thermal socks, because it's going to be cold in the winter out there. So get everything prepared. Make sure you've got everything you need to keep warm. Hats, gloves, scarves, waterproof coats that are warm, boots and thermal socks, and you'll stay toasty while you're outside. So when we go on a site in the winter, we tend to go on electric hookup. We don't very often go off grid in the winter. But if you do, make sure you've got plenty of gas with you, because solar's not going to do very much over the winter, although you will get a little bit. So we're going away for Christmas, as I say, for 11 nights. We'll be on a hookup, but obviously our cooking is gas. Even though we have the air fryer, we cook mainly in the oven in winter. So we will make sure that we've got 2 full bottles of gas in the caravan. So if anybody's going out over Christmas, let us know where you're going. We'd be really interested to know. But if you want some ideas on how to cook a Christmas dinner in the caravan, I'll put a link to our Christmas vlog from last year showing you our Christmas dinner that we cooked in the caravan, and we'll be doing it all again this Christmas. But have a look, see what you think. We really enjoy Christmas in the caravan. I think it's one of our favourite trips. I hope you've enjoyed our tips for caravanning in the winter. We've enjoyed making this vlog. It's been fun and daft, and Andy thinks I'm an absolute mad hatter, especially when I've got my hat on. But for us, for this vlog, that is it. Don't forget to go watch all the other channels' videos. I say they'll have very different tips to what we have. And we'll see you on the next vlog. Bye for now.